has to be more to life than paying bills.
The advantage of being able to fold it together and store it away.
The boat. I gotta get that boat.
Woe to the libertine who preys upon the virtues of the weak. My arse! Lorna is supposed to be a dramatic parable about the wages of sin, with Lorna herself getting increasingly frustrated at her lack of hard cock action from her prematurely ejaculating thick boyfriend. Before you can say zero tolerance, she's attacked and brutally raped by an ex-con. And in a twist that would make Sid the sexist blanch and blush, she turns all simpering servitude, cooking him steak and beans and buying him bottles of whiskey. Not the kind of message you can imagine preaching to young people today, but hey, I've got my irony glasses on, what do I care? That's right, Steph. Get stuck in. Give my craft a good see it to. And when you finish there, you can nip on the front and give my foreskin a good see it to as well. I don't want to end up like my friend Ashley with a big hard cheesy rind right underneath my bell end now, do I? Go on, get stuck in. Anti-clam, whatever you want to call it, pudenda. And here it is, giant-sized scale. And I'd like to demonstrate for you my preternatural tickling skills. Firstly, starting with the labia majora. Always working up, always working up. There you go. Then you move into the labia minora. Criticism, eh? Oh, no, 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 no. It's not the critic that counts, but rather the artist who struggles and strives to get his or her vision out there in the public domain against all odds, against constraints, both financial, creative and intellectual, who mans the pumps, who rallies the troops, who mucks in to create something. But what do the pundits do other than to slag them off for their efforts? Critics who write, produce and create nothing but merely bitch and deride others for having the audacity to try and tell a story and create something that might live on in the public domain. It's gone too far! It's time to redress the balance in favour of the artist, creator, producer, achiever and their need to express their individual vision against all odds, particularly against moribund, impotent criticism, which is dead. But wait. These artists don't live in a vacuum, do they? And if they've got the arrogance to believe they can educate, communicate, provoke and inform, well, they should be able to take some shit. Because if I've got to sit through another 90 minutes of gack, well, I'll jolly well eat my own arse clean off its hinges.
This week we've got...
We used to have an intensely competitive relationship way back when in the workplace. Yes, I'll hold, but get your go! Male rivalry and machismo in the none more macho workplace of air traffic control guys. But when new guy Billy Ray Cypress, Joe Bob Briggs, Billy Bob Thornton turns up, he drives all the other guys wild with jealousy because he's got this sort of half-Indian, mercurial, cool and insouciant charm thing going for him. He's all sort of self-actualised and centred. So it ups the ante and makes guys want to trump each other in the competitive arenas of work, play and shagging each other's girlfriends. Hey, Jinko, how's it going, man? How's things? How's your girlfriend? Yeah, look, I'm sorry I shagged her. Your wife now? Hey, those were crazy times. Everyone shagged everybody those days. I even shagged my own girlfriend. Jinko, Jinko, Jinko. First of all, who, when they are rent asunder, say things like, oh, I didn't know how comfortable it'd be to lie on one's back. Cool comedy mixed with mad action in a mad mulch of a film with the usual subtle subtext about honour and loyalty. But, the film rolls along, as do the heads, which are decapitated in full crimson spurty glory. Bride of Whitehair 2 picks up where Bride of Whitehair 1 left off. I don't flush and I don't wipe. That's for Christians, that is. It's competition time! We've got a lovely pile of South Park box set videos to give away, the collective noun being an urco of South Park videos to give away to the lucky pre-pension parabolic embolism who can infarct the answer to this one simplistic question, the words of which Steph will impart to you using only the majestic ocular power of his hypnotic vision.
What is the name of Bart Simpson's dog?
We'll attend a concert by Australian piano genius and subject of film shine, David Helfgott. But due to a booking agent's error, chunky, trunk-wearing buffoon David Hasselhoff bounded on stage instead. He did one of those awful heavy metal power ballads that go down so well in Germany and Asia before throwing a red flotation device into the orchestra pit, diving headlong after it to perform emergency heart massage on a shocked and visibly upset second clarinetist who obviously and evidently wet herself. The micturation, because of the hot environment, floated up into the air and was the answer. So, send your answers by fax on 0141 353 6660. Or why not email us at vidsforlater@aol.com. I know, Steph, we do have some bloody fun on this show, but the best bits are invariably cut out. Let's look at some of our hilarious bloopers.
Now, The Unforgiven stars Clint Eastwood.
Clint Eastwood!
What?
I said Clint Eastwood.
What?
Next up, it's fucking what is it? What is it? Yeah. Although Ben Gazzara was great in Tales of Ordinary Man. Charade for your soon-to-be intended is, in fact, a bloke.
Oh, shit.
Well, that'll learn to you, big man. Come home with me and have a nice hot cup of hatred.
Hey, it's competition
time. We've got a superlative sepia-tinted lamp of Golden Great Classics, the collective now mean a griddle of Golden Great Classics, to give away to the lucky low central gravity felt suit wearing recent incumbent who owes his meteoric rise and recent success to me and me alone. So, can you obviate the answer to this simple question, the words of which Steph will sing to you in his own inimitable style, whilst I accompany him on my organ?
Who had the hit single in the 80s with Marlena on the Wall?
So, we'll travel to the Outer Hebrides, where we'll lead a semi-monastic, hermetically sealed life and take a vow of silence for over 10 years, and also a vow that we won't wank off. Obviously, the second proved to be the most difficult. In the end, we had to resort to using super glue on our Jap's eyes to seal it up. After 10 years, we came back to civilization, and believe you me, our ball bags swelled up to the size of bin bags, but they weren't black, they were sort of grey-coloured. So we peeled the super glue off our Jap's eyes, and a mad spunk session shot our load everywhere. And amongst the miasma of mucky spunk, we found the right answer.
So send your answers by fax on 0141 353 666. Or why not email us at vidsforlater@aol.com.
I'm glad you got rid of that awful ladyboy, Steph. I know what we can do. Let's watch that secret camcorder footage I shot in the bog earlier. In ephemera that'll be out of date in 2 years' time. So how's about this for a Chomsky-esque theory? If Moses himself were to travel down from the Holy Mount today with the 10 Commandments carved in stone, the 6 o'clock news would only report on the first 3. You'd have to wait till Newsnight came out to find out what the other 7 were. Frenetically fast cut and paste soundbite culture is turning our minds into soft, moist, malleable mush. As the cuts get faster, the soundbites get smaller. But you love it, you low attention span filters!
This week we've got Oriental May.
Is out to buy from April the 24th. Check out the bit where he hones his one-arm swordsman technique from a half-burnt book. He really is a tasty low central gravity bastard, and try to keep up with the fast-cut whirling dervish camera action. It really has to be seen to be believed. It's almost like the visual equivalent of a Charlie Parker solo.
No, what have I done? Nice, are you okay?
Ah, not bad, not bad. Anyway, it's competition time.
Hey.
We've got a wonderful state-of-the-art
Brand new Iowa DVD player.
to give away to the lucky loose-limbed lossing Dant who can ascertain the answer to this one simplistic question, the words of which Steph will... Just say it, Steph.
How many Rocky films have there been?
Oh,
We'll travel to Atlanta, Georgia, and attend an unplugged gig by Elton John. And during a particularly tearful and emotive rendition of Goodbye England's Rose, Sir Elton soils his Issey Miyake pantaloons. The smell was truly repugnant. Luckily, there was a quick-witted sound engineer on hand to scoop up Elton's fecal matter, and he deposited it in a sound hole of a nearby acoustic guitar. We'll go out and about looking for that guitar, and when we find it, we'll rattle it, and it'll sound like a 2-pence piece, but it won't be. It'll be Elton's dried, desiccated shit inside. And that's the answer.
So why not fax us on 01413536660?
Why, hi there. Welcome to this very special edition of Vids. Now, my name's Brett O'Neill McClumperty, and some of you might remember me from an advert I did some years ago. Dip your balls in the bollock water, the lavender-scented bollock water. But perhaps you don't get that one on your Queen's BBC. Now, you might have seen on your English news about the sad killing of Steph and Nigel from Vids. And this is by way of a video obituary of those guys. If you like, a Vids bitchery of the guys. But enough of my yakking, and let's be honest, who cares if those guys are dead? Because it's their work that lives on as a testament to their consummate professionalism and punctuality. So lie back, relax, and scratch yourself in a vulgar fashion if that's your bag, man, and enjoy this, their finest hour, which is, in fact, a half of an hour. Okay, roll the tape.
This week we've got some guerrilla filmmaking, Creatures of the Night, a one-armed swordsman, and Linda Lovelace shows us her party piece.
First up, Bowfinger. Written by and starring Stephen Martin. It's the usual romp through familiar territory. Martin plays the eponymous Bobby Bowfinger, who's got a script he reckons will slay Hollywood. If only he can get #1 black actor Kit Ramsey, played by Eddie Murphy, in the starring role. This he does by hook or by crook. And Murphy's character has got issues he needs to talk through with his shrink, like conspiracy theories and his need to flash his meat at unsuspecting cheerleaders, which skates pretty close to the truth, because in real life, Eddie Murphy likes nothing better than the company of ladyboys, which he furiously denies to the press. These Hollywood stars, they do have some bloody fun, don't they? They don't go far, but they do have some bloody fun.
Do you have any experience in motion pictures?
Oh, yeah, quite a bit.
Can you believe it? These days, people go to university to study so-called seminal 70s TV programs. And every winsome, well-fed posh boy and posh girl wants to be the new face of youth or the new voice of MTV. The cult of the Z-list presenter is well and truly upon us. But there's one thing that terrifies these young presenters more than anything else. They'll do anything to try and avoid it, desperately filling it with over-enunciating doggerel and rancid opinionationalism. The thing they fear more than life itself is the terror and tyranny that is dead air. But I love it. I languish in it. I writhe in it. I spread it on biscuits and snaffle it down.
This week we've got disastrous drug deals back.
You want your spanking? Well, you just listen, right? The SAS were experts at operating behind enemy lines, and this experience proved invaluable in allowing us to cry havoc and let slip the pigs of war. See, I know my William Shakespeare. We're not all as thick as you think. Against the Iraqis in the desert. This experience, in turn, proved invaluable on the mean streets of Northern Ireland, where we have operated covertly since the 1960s, propagating murder, war, treachery, bloodshed, brutality, and insurrection in what's commonly become known as the Troubles, which, to me, sounds like a woman's period pains. Not a country. Can you have a country with period pain? Oi, what do you think you're doing? I'm in the SAS. I could kill you with a mere flick of my anus. Huh?
Here?
Debation, and a young lady pleasures herself for about 10 minutes. Then there's a bit about massage, which neatly segues into another section about oral sex. The narrator saying the 69 position is one of the most mutually beneficial positions for both partners. not. The pleasure one gives is directly proportionate to the pleasure one receives. It's very difficult to concentrate on the matter at hand when somebody else is chowing down on your nether regions. Better to bring your partner off first. Then you can lie back and relax as she snaffles down on your hardy perennial mandible root. Then the narrator says, better to warm your partner up and enter her slowly, as you don't want to tear her apart, which is something of a worrying phrase, I think. Hey, but in this era of truly interactive TV, why not interact with me? Do you want some oral sex? But all this fatuous stuff about variety being the spice of life during sexual congress, it's bollocks, isn't it? Someone like me was naturally proficient at making the beast with two backs. But there must be those poor souls out there that find it difficult maintaining and keeping an erection. They like glance like that, next thing you know, they just come in their pants. It's that easy for them, you see. So Steph and I do the occasional offering of advice to those poor sods out there in the netherworlds. And here's a letter here from Nimrod Soam, 74 Park Road, Cwm Park of the Rhondda. Wants to remain anonymous, you see. He says, I went for my usual fecal mass droppage at the toilet the other day, and would you believe it, my arsehole wouldn't close up afterwards. I was walking around crab-like with my bum like a big loose Wellington boot top. Please give me some advice. Yours, Nimrod. Well, Nimrod, to be honest, where does Huang Zhang tash go? 1 minute he's sporting it with impunity, the next thing it's not there. So I studied this to degree level at university and soon realised that you can't see his tash on the long shot because in effect he's sporting bum fluff. But the kicks are fast and furious and well placed. But I have to say, it isn't like real fighting. If I think back to my early days when I would have ungainly drunken brawls in Treorchy Rugby Club car park and roll around in the glass and shit, the only way to beat the big ugly rugby boy was to pull clubs of his hair out and bite him really hard on the fleshy part under the arm until he passed out.
The art of hiding.
Bastards! Yeah! French have much more joie de vivre than us dour, uptight Brits. More zest, more passion, more pleasure. Indeed, they seem to have an innate philosophy towards taking time out to shoot the breeze, develop interpersonal relationships, drink coffee, and generally go deeper, much deeper, than what laughingly passes for social interaction in Britain. I think the French could teach us a thing or two about stinking armpits and lifting, louping, stinking, ronking, buzzing breath as they suckle down frogs' legs and suck on snail shells. Ugh. It's nice to hear a non-xenophobic mentality once in a while, isn't it? Wales, cool Cymru. What was that great quote by Karl Marx? I would never join a club that would have me as its member. And on that basis, I reject the notion of a unified Wales, an amorphous, leak-carrying clump. Forget about rugby. Forget about male voice choirs. Now it's all griping guitar bands, miserable turntablists, and arseheads trying to make the Welsh train spotting. Wales isn't just divided, oh no, it's dissected. Only 16% speak the so-called mother tongue, yet they labour under the delusion they're an oppressed minority, when in fact they're a bourgeois elite. As Groucho said, all history is the history of class struggle, boyo. The Welsh are everywhere, but you wouldn't know it because half of them sound fucking English. But we're too ambivalent to be nailed down to an accent. Cowbridge in Cardiff is so posh, it might as well be Knightsbridge in London. But they're as Welsh as the Welsh-speaking Welsh speaker, whether they like it or not. But I'm a citizen of the global village, a pro-European internationalist. Fuck having a Queen's ugly head on the coin of the realm. Let's really break with England. This shit I'm wearing was made by somebody in a sweatshop in China. We Welsh need to control our own means of production and exploit our own indigenous resources. And I don't mean sheep, and I don't mean coal. I mean these little bastards. Magic mushroom. Take over the world with these. I should know. I'm a druidic, Wiccan, warlock, Welsh oral tradition, sheep-shagging bastard.
This week we've got death by drugs, death by video, death by syphilis, and death by mind-numbingly tedious French shit.
Coming through, I'm coming through. No, but it's the Eminem of the Outer Hebrides. Tannock. Yeah, my name is Tannock. You got a beef with that? I reappropriate the way the black guys speak, so I can pass it on to these stupid white geeks who walk with a swagger, speak with a lisp. Don't look at my bitch, baby, or you're gonna get me pissed and this. I'll cross you off my Christmas list. Language is evolving, it's changing all the time. It's rolling, and in the modern Dickens, documented heart, and I'm talking about street crime. Accuse me of this, accuse me of that. I don't give a flying fuck about I'll just go triple plat. What an old fucking wank.
In comparison to kids, this just carries no.
Me, someone's injured my pride. Hello, hello, oh, fuck you.
Oh, I'm really gonna miss that little shit.
Oh, well, at least my gruffle is spick and span and as shiny as a new penny. And you know what, Steph?
It's competition time.
We've got this rather marvellous souvlaki of Oh Brother Where Art Thou DVD and VHS to give to the lucky Leonard Rossiter who can respond in kind to this one simplistic question which Lucy and the Vids Saltmine will lord over. Steph will ask the question in the style of Steph.
Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou was based on which novel by whom?
Imagine an alternate universe. A universe where Tom Jones wasn't the sweating superstar we know today, but instead was an ordinary bloke living in his own hometown of Pontypridd in a terraced house, signing on invalidity benefit with a bad back, with a wife and 7 children. Imagine it.
Cash my fucking gyro, I go out for a pint. Ah, the dodgy career, when it sits all night, shit bomb, I lay the shit bomb, shit bomb.
Nice.
Oh, fuck
So,
hell.
why not send your answers by pack?
Television's new old boys network is five-a-side football after work. Hello, Miles, Giles, Matt, Sam, Jack and Dan. Let's get together for a wee bit of testosterone-induced male bonding. It's so real. It's positively proletarian. Man on, square ball, kick it, spit it. Oh, the mobile's vibrating. I must take this. It's probably my age. Hello? Oh,
Lovely composition.
indeed, football teams are very much like film crews. Specific jobs for specific roles. And in the world of television, you will often hear this tired old cliché trotted out.
Television's not a democracy, right?
Indeed, it's more like a rigidly inflexible militaristic hierarchy full of status-obsessed careerist ladder climbers. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why so much television is shit on a biscuit. Me and Steph are like a couple of bison caught in the condescending crosshairs of your camera's gaze. A couple of grunts to add to the illusion of TV as some sort of egalitarian, equal opportunities employer. A couple of Uncle Toms desperately over-enunciated in front of the lens, but never allowed behind it. Well, that's about to change. Give me that fucking lens. The lunatics have taken over the pre-post-production facility houses from you privileged Ponzi preeners, stuck on your fat asses, bones all soft from living in air-conditioned, centrally heated environments. We're going to lord it over you bastards for a change. But is it comedy and does it have the legs? And you really should be signposting it because the public are so thick, aren't they?
This week.